The purpose of this video is to show you how to use standard components from the toolbox side of SolidWorks. So I'm going to start with a new drawing, and it's going to be a new part. And to access the toolbox I need to go onto the right hand menu, and I need to choose Design Library and Toolbox. And within the toolbox you'll find that it initially isn't there, you'll have to add it in. So I'm going to use the add in button, and being in the UK I'm going to choose BSI, and then I've got a number of different options for components I can bring in. I'm going to look at bolts and screws, and I'm going to use some hexagon socket head screws. And you can see there I've got a dome head sort of button head, I've got a countersink head, I've got a cap screw style head, and then we've got one with a shoulder as well. So a number of different types of screws there, and I'm going to choose the button head. So I'm going to right click on there, I'm going to go create part, and in creating part it boots up a menu that will allow me to choose the size, the length and the style of the visual of the thread on the screw. I'm going to choose a large diameter one, mainly so you can see the drawing a bit clearer, but also it will allow me to do a longer length on the thread. And I'll go to a 35mm length, and at the moment you can see it's on schematic for the thread display. There are three options here. You've got simplified, you've got cosmetic, which just gives the impression of a shaded thread, but then you've got the schematic, which actually looks like a proper thread. So any of those would be fine depending on the purpose of your drawing, I guess. And then once you've done that you can click on the tick, and that creates the component for you. Now it looks like the component's disappeared, but actually if I just minimize this one down you'll see that the drawing is behind. So what I can do is I can save this now, so I can go to File, Save As, and I can put that into a library of parts. Now you can see there's some parts already in here. It's actually in the C drive in the SolidWorks Data 2 copied parts, where I've saved some other components, and you can over time build up a standard component library that you can recall. The other option of course is to save it into a folder with the drawing that you're going to use it with, just as you would with any other component. And that's the end of this video.